Affairs program.
If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press
on NBC.
This morning on Early Today, collateral damage. NATO admits a bombing error likely led to a deadly airstrike on a civilian home in Libya. Arizona ablaze. More evacuations are ordered with crews battling a pair of wildfires facing extremely high winds. And future flight. A European aerospace company unveils plans for an eco-friendly hypersonic passenger jet.
This is Early Today for Monday, June 20th, 2011.
Hello and good morning. I'm Lynn Berry, and today we begin with a not-so-surgical strike. NATO is admitting that one of its bombings in Libya appears to have been off target and may have had deadly consequences. Libya's government says the airstrike killed 9 civilians, including 2 children. For the very latest on this, we go to NBC's Stephanie Goss. She's in Tripoli for us. Stephanie, good morning.
Good morning, Len. Well, NATO says it regrets the loss of civilian life, that the target in this attack was actually a surface-to-air missile silo, and that it appears that there was a weapon system failure on one of its rockets that diverted it into a residential neighborhood. Now, according to the Libyan government, 9 people were killed, as you mentioned, 2 small children, in addition to 18 children, or rather people being injured in that neighborhood. Now, this comes just 2 days after NATO admitted hitting a group of rebels out in eastern Libya, a mistaken attack there, and they've had mistaken attacks in the past. And it follows weeks of problems within NATO. There has been internal battles over the level of certain nations' contribution to the alliance, and there has been an open debate, as you know, in the United States over our contribution to this conflict. When?
Well, Stephanie, how's the Libyan government reacting there to this?
Well, they are definitely taking advantage of the public relations opportunity here. There's a spokesman for the government that said that this is an example of NATO not accidentally hitting civilians, but he said deliberately targeting civilians. And then the foreign minister, in a brief statement to the press last night, called for a global jihad against the criminal West because of this attack. Lynn?
All right, Stephanie Goss there for us in Tripoli. Stephanie, thank you. Back here at home, extremely high winds have been hampering efforts to contain massive wildfires tearing all across the Southwest. Crews are battling flames in Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. About 1,700 more homes were evacuated in southern Arizona yesterday due to the Monument Fire. Wind gusts near that blaze topped 60 miles per hour. Meanwhile, crews have made some progress on the largest of these fires. That is the 800-square-mile Wallow Fire. The containment there is now at 44%. It has destroyed 32 homes and 4 rental cabins. Several fires are also burning in Texas. This one, which is about 100 miles north of Houston, has burned about 14,000 acres. Officials say it's about 40% contained. And while a lack of water is a problem in the Southwest, too much of it is the issue along the Missouri River. Several levees in northern Missouri have not been able to hold back water from upstream dams. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers released the water to make room for potentially heavy rains expected all throughout early next week. This weekend in Big Lake, Missouri, water overtopped one levee, flooding homes and farmland there. Meanwhile, in Nebraska, a flooding alert was issued for a second nuclear power plant, although officials say the public is not in any danger. And now here's a look at some other stories making news early today in America. A dramatic rescue played out near the crest of Niagara Falls when a helicopter plucked 2 New York State police officers from their stranded boat. Shortly after they rescued 4 teenagers from the Niagara River, heavy fog threw the officers off course, and they were only a few feet from the mouth of the falls when they dropped the anchor, stopping the boat from being swept over the ledge. On Father's Day outing in Texas, it turned dangerous when one dad and his son needed to be rescued from their boat after it capsized in the Galveston Bay. With the aid of life jackets, the men floated in rough waters for 2 hours before a Coast Guard helicopter crew spotted them. The pair was then hoisted from the bay without any serious injury. And finally, in Orlando, a boxing ring was the location of a memorable Father's Day encounter. A father and son